Hi, welcome to Mystic Melodies Tune In Tuesday with LaFlamme. That's me. We are on the final episode of the short series that we did called TunesNTarot, which is inspired music using our intuition, tarot card imagery, and tapping into Source and Unverse to elevate and develop our composition skills. So, exciting episode because we have these 4 cards that we're going to chat about real quick just to recap. But before then, I just wanted to do a quick little story. This week, as I was working on the song for this episode, I popped in my creative space, which I've talked about before, did some meditation, did some breathing, lit some candles, and just waited patiently to see what direction I was supposed to go in. Just waiting for a bit of a download. And then all of a sudden, a book popped into my head, one that I've used with students for many, many years, teaching guitar. And I went straight to the page. It was like, boom, right there. And there were these chords that I have visited in the past, but it's been a long time. But I hadn't actually played with the arrangements of the chords to see how they could go together and how they could flow. So I looked at them and I thought, ooh, these are really neat. As soon as I started to play them, I just felt like they sort of came together. I started just getting like a download and a sense of being in the right direction, right? And just this plan was coming together. And I just played them over and over and over again, just with the repetition and just waiting to have the image of the cards come to life, feel the intuitive sense of where to go with the chords. And before long, I was completely filled with emotion. My soul was filled. I had chills. I was like tearing up. I was so moved. And I just thought, thank you, Source and Universe, right? That at that moment, I just was like, I knew this was the foundation for this TunesNTarot song that we've been working on. So real quick, initially we started with the Strength card, right? As our foundation, the Harmony card. And then for our Melody card, which is the story and the direction, we have the Chariot. And then for the rhythm, the tempo and the beat, we had the 8 of Pentacles, which was perfect because I remember talking about how he just had a set tempo with his both hands doing steady work and crafting it out and honing his gift, right? So that was just a perfect rhythm card in my personal opinion. And then we had our resolution, the 4th element. So we had 1, 2, 3, and 4, and this was the outcome, right? The final element. And then, of course, having the Queen was just like perfect. So I was super excited about that. And so when I was in my creative space, I actually brought these cards with me and put them out in front. And so I'll talk a little bit about that in one hot second about what I think you should have when you're ready to start shaping the song and put it down, right? But real quick, let's recap. How do we know when the song is ready to be there? Just a quick couple of things. We are comfortable and confident and feel like we have a good direction with the energy, with where the song, the lyrics, the melody are going. At least you have some idea down, right? Some lyrics, some idea of the overall concept and the harmony and where the song is going. And then we have the length of the song, right? Now that can, depend on what your plan is with the song. But like a traditional sort of folk, pop, rock kind of song, it's typically around like 3-ish minutes, right? Short attention span. Me personally, however, I actually like I do set the foundation of the song, but I super enjoy bringing the song out and extending it with longer chord progressions. And oftentimes it moves me into what I call a source serenade, right? Where it just allows me to meditate and receive and cleanse and heal and just sort of connect with Source and Universe. And especially when like I've had a hard day or there's a lot of things going on, sometimes just at least having that foundation, the shaping of the song, you can expound on that and just give yourself some time to enjoy what you've created at that point, you know. So, and then the name, I personally haven't named the song yet. Some folks like to base the song off a name, like very, you know, a topic of it. But, and I have done it in the past, but typically I tend to wait to the end to sort of try to do in a few simple words, not like a big long sentence or anything, just something that really captures the song. So that's just sort of my style. And you know, everyone has their own process for sure. And so this is sort of the basics of getting a song down, right? To where you can expand upon it and bring it where you want. So real quick, I already mentioned that I like to have my cards handy. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the things that I like to have when I hit my creative space and I really want to get that, like I said, like the shape of the song, the foundation of the song. Always have a folder. And I always have my special pen, which is my Uniball Vision. And for all you artists out there, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I like to, like I said, have my 4 cards, my folder, my pen, and then I like to have some blank sheets of paper just in case something might change. So the first thing is I want to record and review my song. Okay, so I want to put the song down. I use my cell phone, or you can download an app, because I want to review it from an outward perspective, from a different angle, right? So we listen to ourselves as we play it, but it's really, really cool to hear yourself, listen to yourself, right? Sharing your creative inspiration. And having the paper there, you can capture ideas or changes or something, you know, that comes to mind. You're right there and ready to receive, right, what the universe and source has to give to you. And then I always like to have the lyrics that I've jotted down thus far. Now, I have some of the lyrics. I'm not entirely done with the song, and I will post the song in its entirety on the next episode. But I've got my lyric sheet. I've got them started. I have here the chords, okay? Super simple. Now, these are all sort of basic beginner methods, right? If you're super knowledgeable in theory and maybe you've been composing for a really long time, you just never really had done tarot, but you're going to know how to use, you know, sheet music, the staff, tablature, etc. But for us, for you who are just, you know, now I've been composing, well, for like 40 years, 35 years, but I still love this to make sure that I get down and I don't miss anything, right? That when the chords come, boom, they're right there. I can always do the fancy version later. And then I have a basic sheet, which I then have mapped out what chords I'm going to use from the verse, what chords I'm going to use for my chorus, and what I'm going to use for my bridge, right? And then I have them in this little folder. And that helps me sort of, you know, be organized with a productive plan, right? So again, this is sort of the basic map for beginners. And for those of you that are more experienced, you have your own style, which I totally get. So those are just some of the basics in regards to laying down, shaping your song. And I'm going to share the song that I've worked on personally with Tunes and Tarot in the next episode, like I mentioned. But if you have any songs that have been inspired by tarot and you'd like to share those compositions, I would absolutely love to hear them. I'd love to share them. So if you would be so kind as to like, share, and subscribe, that would be awesome. And then next week, we are going to be discussing the final versions of our song, and I'm excited about that. So I'm going to put a snippet of it out this week, and then I will put the final version along with the formal foundational layout and finality of the song. Okay, so thank you for tuning in to Mystic Melodies Tune In Tuesday. Again, I'm LaFlamme. I will post all my links for X, YouTube, and Rumble down below. So again, please like and share, and I will see you next Tuesday.